Okay, so I think it's time now. Let's start with the introduction to data science. Hello, everyone. My name is, I think, my audio is, my voice is audible or not? Okay, thanks, Kaushal, for the feedback. Let's begin. So, we are going to learn Python for data science today. The agenda of this webinar would be first of all, we will introduce the topic of data science, what it is, and what are the job opportunities in it, how you should start learning data science, and then we will slightly shift towards Python, where I'll introduce you to Anaconda software, which is a data science tool. Hi, Renuka. So, yeah, most of you are here now. So then we'll get to Python. I'll introduce you basic concepts of Python. We'll go to Anaconda, Jupyter notebooks, and then we will shift towards Numpy and Pandas. So that is going to be our highlight of today's webinar. Um, Before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Karan Patil. I am a gold medalist in mobile robotics. I am an data science and artificial intelligence expert as well. So I am managing director at Hunar Pro Skilling. We are based out of Pune, and we give training in the fields of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science. Along with that, we also give project guidance to students who are pursuing their engineering or any other field, and they are required to submit projects to their universities. Okay, so our agenda would be we will go through data science. Okay, so I have already given you brief about that. So let's get started. Before that, I think you must all be knowing, hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. Thank you so much. So let's get started. What is data science exactly? That is the main core front where why we are here. And let me tell you guys, don't worry if you don't know anything about data science, because that's why I'm here. This is going to be a very layoff course where we will start with very basics. You will get to know everything. You will get to know about what is the field and how to get into the field, because the salary attraction for this field is very high. You may be able to see in your campuses or on Google, you can search the average salary that is being paid to a data scientist is somewhere around 8 to 12 lakhs per annum, and that is for freshers, mind you. So it is a very great field. What is data science exactly? So with the definition you must have read till now, data science is a method of providing valuable intelligence from data using math, statistics, programming, and business expertise. But what exactly is that? So when you are working in an organization, they collect a lot of data. That data could be in the form of how many cars are going through the parking lot, or in our case, how many people registered for the webinar. We took the field of age, we took the field of mobile number. So what is the average age of participants in this webinar? This is the layman's term for data science, what it is exactly. So with that data, we can take some valuable intelligence. Valuable intelligence, why it is required is because the businesses can take better decisions if they have better intelligence. So what is better decisions? So suppose if an organization wants to launch a product, and that product is in healthcare industry. If the product is already existing in the market, so what are its drawbacks? What the company should do new so that they can improve the drawbacks and give a valuable product to the customers so that their revenue increases. So how will they find out? This finding is done by data science. So someone will tell you that data science is a new field. Not exactly. Data science is an old field, but the term data science has been coined recently. So that is why this field is very, emerging field. But before that as well, data science was there. There were people who were doing the statistics and analysis of this, but now it's a growing field. So what do you need to be a data scientist or a business analyst or a data analyst? So you need three core frontiers in your portfolio. One is computer science knowledge, that is your programming, algorithm derivations, flowchart development. The second would be mathematics. You need to have a basic understanding of probability statistics to be a good data scientist. And the third one is the business expertise. Now, business expertise is your domain specific knowledge. Now, suppose if your client is working in insurance company, so you need to have information about some or the other insurance related terms, because when you are going to derive intelligences, when you are going to do the analysis, you need to be familiar with the terms of insurance companies. So that is why you need the domain expertise as well. Now, you must be saying that we are students, we are not going to any company yet. We want to be a data scientist, we are an aspiring data scientist, and we are freshers. So, how about the business expertise? So, that business expertise is given by your organization when you join it, because the clients are different at different organizations. The field, the industry that the company is providing service to might be different. It might be healthcare, it might be insurance, it might be education. So that knowledge will be given to you by your organization in terms of internal training programs. So now, before that, what do you want is computer science knowledge and mathematics knowledge. With these two fields knowledge, you can easily get into any job that requires a data analyst. Now, this term is very, 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 very well used in the industry by Harvard Business Review, that the data scientist job is the sexiest job of the 21st century. Do you know why? It is because the data scientists are the key decision makers in an organization. So a CEO might be taking the decisions, but what supports the CEO's decision is the reports given by the data scientists. That is why it is termed the sexiest job of the 21st century, and it is the job that drives the market in the industry. If you have any doubts, any questions, please drop into the chat section and I'll be happy to solve them. Let's move ahead. Then, what is big data? You might be familiar with this term, big data, Hadoop, and everything. Big data is nothing but it is a large data which cannot be handled by conventional DBMS systems. So, for example, if you are a computer science student, you must be knowing SQL, structured query language. So, structured query language is a very good example of a database management system. But what happens at the SQL is it is not able to handle a very large and complex and unstructured data. So unstructured data can be like in suppose we are taking a feedback form where we are entering first name as the field, but over there some people are entering numeric digits. Then what? That data is not good. That data is no help for us. So that is a kind of complex, unstructured, and cluttered data. So SQL primarily was not able to handle it, and not just SQL, but very other DBMS systems, including Oracle and everything. They used to not able to handle this kind of data. So what happened is big data emerged as a field where Hadoop came into existence to handle this kind of big datas. Big datas are all around us. Okay, so if you say we go into a traffic management system where we have CCTVs in our cities, and someone is crossing the zebra crossing line while in their car, which is not good. So in a day, somewhere around, suppose 20 people cross the lines. So 20 people's into a month, into a year, and into a 10-year data is a huge number. It's a huge data. Finding out their number plates, finding out the person linked with those number plate using the RTO data, it is very complex. So this kind of data was handled by Hadoop. But now Hadoop is not the only player in the market. Apache Spark, Apache Storm, and many other database management systems with increased analytics support are there. Now, let's talk about job opportunities. That's why we all are learning the new skills, and that's why we want to get ourselves upgraded, and that's why we are in at 10 a.m. in the morning on our Sunday, spending our day like this. So what are the job opportunities in data science? So over here you can see there are in this diagram there are multiple positions marked. So machine learning engineer, researcher, professor, data scientist, statistician, manager, director, data BI analyst, data engineer, student, software developer, and other positions. So what is the job satisfaction level of these professions? So if you see, machine learning engineer is the highest or the most satisfied position if anyone can dreams of. Then comes the professor or researcher and equivalently data scientist, and then the managers, directors, data business analysts. The reason behind that is the type of work that they are doing and the money that they are being paid to do this job. Now, if you see upwards, the data that I'm showing downwards and the text that I have written upwards, they both are contradictory. Research estimates that millions of jobs in data science will remain vacant for the lack of readily available talent. So this is where the skill gap happens. So if you see, the McKinsey Global Institute has also reported that there will be a talent shortage for data and analytics. The reason behind that is our current education system has not yet acquired the data science profession or the data science related subjects into its core fundamental syllabus. That is the reason why there is being bridged a skill gap. And due to this skill gap, employers are ready to pay more than what is required to the employees in these kind of job positions. So, a data science is a field, but what positions that you can apply for during the job are the following: machine learning engineer, researcher or professor, data scientist, statistician, data or business intelligence analyst is a good field, data engineer, of course, it is a good field. So, these kind of fields are there for data science, which you can apply for. Now, let's get ahead. What is the best way to learn data science? Now, this is the question which you need to address, because whatever I have written, the four preferences, they are my personal opinion, and I strongly believe that the best way to learn data science is through books. There are a lot of books written on data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and mind you, these three fields look like same, but they are not exactly same. They have a very thin bridge gap between them. So, data science can be best learned through books. Why? Because books teach you the best way of programming. It is a self learning process, so you will be doing it yourself, because whenever you go and join some online course on edX or Coursera, the professor starts teaching on a fast rate which you may not be able to cope up with, and then there's no doubt solving sessions. You have to go to forum, you have to type your question and wait for the days when somebody will reply to you. So it's always better to go to books, read them. If you're not satisfied with one, go to the next book. The second best thing could be joining live webinars and live online teaching sessions like this one, like we are in. The reason behind that is the live webinars address your concerns and questions very well. Because since data science is a new field, you might be having a lot of questions in your mind. What is it? How to do it? When we go to Python, within few minutes, you will be able to understand the complexity of some of the concepts that need to be addressed. So when you are in a live session, those are very well addressed through your doubt solving sessions. The third preference that I would give you is start enrolling into data science classroom courses around you. So now many institutes, private institutes, have come up with certification courses in data science, certification courses in big data. Instead of joining the MOOC courses, I'll tell you that it's better to spend some money and join these kind of classroom courses, because their certificate value is more than the online courses, first of all. And the second point would be you would be learning better, that because you're paying some money to a course provider, he's liable to give you better doubt solving. So it's always better to go for a classroom courses, and if you don't have that option, then it's easy to join edX or Coursera, but you might struggle there. Now, this is very interesting diagram that I love. Data science is an art and engineering both. Why? because since data science involves working with numbers, working with fields, forms, and huge unstructured data types like images, videos. Yes, images and videos are also datas. So they are also a work for a data scientist. So these fields all are artistic. When you have to recognize the patterns between the numbers, you have to ask the questions to yourself whether this data is required for something, or this data, or if I derive something from this, what will happen to the next. Or for example, in flood related zones, you can ask what is the prediction when the flood will be, when the water will be flowing, or when is the next flood coming. These kind of questions are addressed by data scientists through their data and their predictions. And to design such data prediction algorithms, you have to write the algorithms. You have to design the algorithms. Once you do that, then comes the engineering part. When you have to implement your system, you have to program it, you have to derive mathematical calculations on it, and all that factors come into it. So data science is a very artistic field, but it requires an engineering background as well. Now we are moving towards our technical part. So choosing data science language. Which is the language that we should start with if we want to learn data science? So this is a general table where I explain you why Python is better than R or SAS. Now you must be familiar with R, but not many must be familiar with SAS. What is SAS? So SAS is a statistical analysis system. It is a business statistical analysis system where big companies or big giants use it for their data because it does not require any programming and it has pre-built functions. That is the reason why it is not versatile. It might be all in one. It supports data analysis, business intelligence, data management, but it is not versatile. You cannot make modular programs out of it. It has limitations. Now the competition is between Python and R. Which to choose? As you can see over here, R is as well not versatile. The reason behind that is Python offers you very good library support. It has multiple libraries. If you want to go for images, if you want to go for videos, if you want to go for some other kind of data, so Python is able to support them. Another feature of Python is that it has excellent capacity of creating glue codes. Now, what are glue codes? You must be wondering. Glue codes are other languages code like C, C++, or Java codes that can be integrated with Python. So you can write one algorithm in Python and then use that algorithm in Java application or C++ application, or vice versa. If you have some C++ or Java code, you can integrate it into Python. This support is not provided by R. That is why Python is a better off language and it is more preferred. So what we are going to learn today, what is going to be our hands-on session. So we will be learning the tool for data science, how to download it and how to use it. The tool that we are going to access is Anaconda. The second thing that we will learn is Jupyter Notebook. What is Jupyter Notebook and how to use it. Then we will see Numpy library and Pandas library in Python 2. Also, there's a surprise waiting for you at the end of this webinar, so please stay tuned till the last because that surprise is there for you. Let's get started. So first of all, let's see how to install Anaconda. For that, I'm showing you on MacBook, but the same process is for Windows as well. Search for anaconda.com, or you can simply type Anaconda and go to Google. The first link, that is anaconda.com, click that. You see a very nice website over here. It has multiple webinars as well, so plus point for you, please bookmark this one if you are interested in further complex webinars. Some are free and some are paid, but the overall Anaconda, it is an open source software, so you can download it. Hit download. Over here now you can select your operating system, so I'm selecting Mac OS. And then if you want to go for Python 3.7 version or Python 2.7 version, it's up to you. You can go for that. Today I'll show you with Python 2.7 because it has some good library support. You can hit download and install the software. Once the software is installed, you can see on your application menu that Anaconda Navigator will appear. You click the Anaconda application. We are shortly uploading how to install Anaconda on Mac and how to install Anaconda on Windows videos. So please subscribe to the channel. They will be uploading the videos for that. So we have one question from Tadvi. Which subject or language is most important for data science? Okay, so the subject for data science would be taking up mathematical courses in probability or statistics, because that's where we lag a lot. And programming language that we should focus on for data science would be Python. I told you the reason behind that. So Python is better language. It has better library support, and it is easy to learn. That is why Python would be preferred. I hope I have solved your question. Now, this is how the Anaconda Navigator library opens up. So over here, it's your home. These are some basic tools. So plus point is, if you want to go for R language, you can select R Studio as well. You don't have to download anything separate for R. R is there for Anaconda. You can just click the install button, and it will be integrated to your Anaconda environment. Things we have right now is Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, and Spider. I'll come to that. I'll show you other things as well. So the environment over here consists of the libraries that are already installed in the Anaconda. So there are multiple data scientific libraries. So let's check some library over here. So SciPy is there. SciPy is the scientific library for Python. It is a lot used in data science. And Scikit image is there for image processing. NumPy, let's check for NumPy. NumPy would be there. Matplot library is there. So we do it for the plotting. NumPy is there. So we will be using NumPy today, and the Pandas. Also, there are multiple tutorials and learning material available on Anaconda Navigator, which you can explore and which you can see over here. As well as there are a lot of communities to explore. So what is the main reason behind developing the communities is that you get your problems solved. So community has vast around number of people joining them and giving their knowledge, sharing their knowledge. So it's always better to interact with those people, and it's a networking. So you may never know what comes from which person. Let's get back to home. Now there are two things, Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook. So what is the difference between that? To simplify it, lab is where you do the experimentation and notebook is where you write your code. So notebook would be something which you would like to develop an application for, and Jupyter Lab would be something where you would be testing your code. So simply stated, Jupyter Lab is like your IDLE. So let's launch it. If you are familiar with Python, Python IDLE is an integrated development learning environment where you have a shell, where you have your white screen. Let's go over here, console Python 2. So it will boot up now. As you can see, it is familiar. It is similar to your IDLE. So what is IDLE? IDLE is your terminal-like software which helps you write your code in Python. It is a shell basically. So over here, if you go for print, and hit enter, it will execute your code. Similarly, over here, it is just a shell where you type your code over here. So let's go for print hello flocks, and it prints your output. But now the thing over here is you have to press shift and enter to execute your code. Otherwise, you will be able to write multiple codes like over here. And if you press enter, it will go to the next line. So you will be able to write your code completely and then hit enter. To execute the code, you have to press shift and then enter. you have to press them simultaneously. So print, you are awesome, and shift enter. So it prints like that. So this is about Jupyter Labs. File. If you switch off this console over here, turn off this, and now let's go to Jupyter Notebook. Let's launch that. Now, as you can see over here, we are getting into our file system. So over here, we will select our folder, our desktop folder, and in desktop, I have created some webinar files. These are some of the data types or data files. You can see your data can be in text file, CSV file, Excel file, XML file, or it could be a .db extension where DB stands for database. But right now we are going for text, CSV, XLS, and XML today. So over here, you can click New, Python 2 Notebook. Over here, you get this kind of environment. Now this environment is you write your code, hit shift enter, it will execute it and show you the output, and then again next. So data science is about this. You don't write a complete code, but you work with the data. So you are always programming the data to get some insights. Okay, if you have any questions, please do post them. I'll be very happy to solve them. So now I think we are ready to go and get our hands dirty and write some data science code. I hope you all are excited. Okay, now when we go here, you can change the name of your file. It is stored as IPYNB extension. So it is IPython notebook. This is the common notebook extension that we get for Python. So webinar session, and we have renamed the file. Perfect. Now let's just check whether it's working or not. Test. You can as well write your comments over here. That won't be a concern. So it's here, printing test case. Once you are done with that, yeah, so we have one question from the Vamsi. Sir, really data science make your better job, but really they hire freshers. Oh yeah, I think you are asking me whether they hire freshers or not. So let me tell you, yes, they hire freshers. They hire experienced people in data science only. They don't hire someone from other fields because they want fresh data scientists, because their minds are clear and they don't have any other information with them. Other information means that they don't have any confusion in their minds regarding other fields. So yes, companies do hire data scientists from freshers. So I think I hope I have solved your question, Vamsi. At the end of the webinar, I'll show you some companies which do hire freshers where you can apply. I'll list out the companies in India which are hiring data scientists or data analysts. We have another question from Renuka. I am not from statistics background, then is it fine for me to learn data science? Yes, of course it is fine for you to learn data science, because statistics field knowledge is required in data science, but it is not just statistics. If you are from a computer engineering background or from IT background or from electronics background, that would be better if you go to data science field, because statistics, it is not magic or something. It is something which you can learn, but even if you don't learn it thoroughly, if you just have idea about it, you are well off, because Python has an extensive usage of library for statistics. So even if we will see in further sessions that we can take average, mean, mode, anything that we want. So it is not necessary that you should have an in-depth knowledge of statistics or a degree in statistics. You should just have a brief knowledge of statistics that is there. So Vamsi, as again stated, I'm a just third year BTech student. I want to place in data science field. Sure, Vamsi, we can help you in that. I'll tell you what are the fields there. So you can do that. Now let's get back to our coding session. So I have written this test code and I am pressing shift enter. Yes, it is working fine. Now, as I told you, we are going to start with two libraries. One is Numpy and the other one is Pandas. Vamsi has again stated, if it is possible for you, please suggest any statistics and probability courses or sources to learn it. Sure, Vamsi, I'll do that at the end of the session. Just remind me if I forget. I'll note it down. Thank you so much. I'll list you. Now, for that matter, we will start with our programming session. Now, as I told you, we are going to use NumPy and Pandas. So if you are familiar with basics of Python, we do import for an external library, and then we will enter NumPy, that is the name of our library, as np, and then we will do something like this, np.once. I know you won't be understanding what I'm writing, but just a second. Int. Now hit enter. So what I have done over here is I have taken the NumPy library and I have given it an alias. Alias means that I have taken a second name for it. It is np. So now wherever I want to use NumPy library, I will use np. Dot over here is a dot operator, and after dot is the functions that are there in NumPy. So ones is a function that is written in NumPy library. Over here 10 comma d type int. What it is 10 is the size of ones that I want in my array, and the data type should be integer. I hope I am clear over here. I know it will be a bit difficult for you to understand at this stage, but ones is nothing that I want element of 1 in my array. All the elements in my array should be 1 and their data type should be int. So this is a simple thing. What we previously used to do is we used to do like this. So I'll give a variable a 1. We used to write it like this, right? And then we used to give command print a, and then we used to print it. But now NumPy and Pandas, they are making our life easy. They are giving us functions. Why these functions are required? So suppose if you want to scale your data by 2, what you will do? You will use a function which will directly multiply your complete data by 2. So that is why we are using such functions. Once again, I'll show you that we can not only take integers, but we can take strings as an input as well. So the code will be same. I'll show you. Now we don't have to again import NumPy because we have already done that above. What we'll do is we'll take NumPy1, np1s. NP means NumPy, so it both are same. We are just importing as a NP. Why? Because typing NumPy every time will be difficult or it will be extensive. So that's why we have taken NP as a short form. So let's again take 10 values of 10 times 1, and now let's specify d type as str, that is your string, and hit enter. Now you can see over here that all ones are in a string format and not an integer format, right? Now same thing we will do with zeros, but over here we will add a bit of complexity now over here. Now if you see, these are all arrays and these are 1D arrays over here. Now what we will do is we will take 2D arrays. Over here 2D array means a matrix, by the way. Zeros in bracket 3.5. Over here 3 and 5 are the rows and columns, and we will give a data type as float. As you can see, it is a 3 by 5 matrix with all zeros in it as a floating data type. So again, we have learned one more function over here. I recommend you write down the notes for this session. So ones is a function, zeros is a function. What if we want some other value in it? What if we want to write 2.34, 2, 5, any other value other than 0 or 1? So are we going to do 2s, 3s, 4s, 20s? No. There is a function called np. There is a function called full. So we access it by np.full, we specify the dimension of our matrix, that is 3 comma 5, and then specify the value that we want. So suppose 2.34 and hit enter. Now you can see a 3 by 5 matrix has been derived with all the elements of 2.34. What if we want to do a shortcut and we want some values in our array in a range? Suppose we want an array with elements from 0 to 10 and only the even numbers. Can we do that? Of course, we can do that in a single line. So for that, we have a function arange with starting point, ending point, and the iteration that we want to do. So we want to iterate it by 2 because all the even numbers will start from 0 and then iterate by 2. So that is 0 plus 2, that is 2, 2 plus 2, that is 4. So all these elements till 20 should be printed. And here we go. So Python makes our lives very easy, and data scientists become very prone to use these kind of easy stuff. Now let's play some game. Let's get some random values. So what we can do now is make a matrix, and we will take mean as 0 and standard deviation as 1. So I'll tell you what we will do. Don't worry about that. So np dot random dot normal. So normal is a function where you want to normalize a matrix. This concept is from mathematics. If you have a mathematical background, I think engineering students must be knowing that we normalize the matrix. So I won't get into the details of mathematics right now because we have to cover a lot, but you can search for normalization. So for normalization of any matrix, we have to give a mean and a standard deviation. So for that matter, we will take mean as 0 and standard deviation as 1. So you can see normal function will take 0, that is your mean, comma, normal function will have the arguments of mean, comma, standard deviation, comma, dimensions of the matrix that you want. So let's create a 4 by 4 matrix now and hit enter. So you can see random numbers are being generated over here with a mean of 0, standard deviation of 1 in a 4 by 4 matrices. So I think we will check again if it is completely random or not by copying the code again and hitting it enter. So now you can see the elements have changed. It is a random process. So we have derived a random matrix with a mean of 1 and a standard deviation of with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Now there is another concept in matrix that we use often, and that is the identity matrix. So a very layman or a poor Python programmer, what he will do is he will go for A and then start writing a matrix like this. So 1 comma 0 comma 0 and then comma 0 comma 1 comma 0. I think you got my point now what they will do, but it cannot be done like this in large sets of data. If you want an identity matrix of a 100 by 100 matrix, what you will do, you're not going to sit down and write all the elements over there. For that we have a very nice function, that is I, not the I but EYE, that is the identity matrix. Over here you give the size of the matrix. So identity matrix is only for square matrix, so that's why your size will be just a single number, whether it is 4 by 4, 5 by 5. So for 4 by 4 you will write 4, and for 5 by 5 you will write 5, like that. So let's check. Yeah, very nice. Now what if we want to go for identity matrix of let's say 1000 by 1000 or 100 by 100. Let's check for 100 by 100 first. 100 by 100 matrix. Yes, you can do that. So this is a array of 100 by 100 size identity matrix. What if we want to go for a much larger number? So let's say 10,000 by 10,000. Yes, it is successful. Now I have written 10,000 comma 10,000, 100 comma 100, and just 4 here over here. So don't get confused with that. You can use both the conventions. So even if I write 1000 by only 1000 for 1000 by 1000, it will work. So let's say 10,000 Yeah, it works. So that shouldn't be any problem, right? Now let's get into something interesting. We all know that we can concatenate our strings, but what about concatenating arrays? Can we concatenate them? So for those of you who don't know what is concatenation, concatenation is merging of two or three elements. So we can concatenate strings. Suppose your first name and last name, we can merge them and make your full name. So that can be done through programs. Over here, similarly, we can do it with arrays. So suppose we go for x is equal to np dot array and give some elements. So suppose let's say 1 2 3, and then we take another variable and store another elements in it and go for 4 comma 5 comma 6, and then let's take another one. Let's see if it can concatenate three members. Let's put over here 7 comma 8 comma 9, and then what we will do for concatenation is we will use a function called concatenate. 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 And over here we will give the variables x comma y comma z. Let's hope that the spelling is correct. Yeah, it does. So you can see over here what happened is I have three different arrays. Session to be posted as video in your channel for further reference, Vamsi. Yes, it is going to be posted in the live this live session is going to be posted on YouTube. You can take a reference out of it, don't worry. But I'll suggest that you stay here right now because there's a surprise waiting for you at the end of this video, or at the end of this live session. So sorry for the distraction. Now over here again, you see there are x, y and z, three different types of arrays. We have merged it and we have made one single array out of it. This is concatenation for you guys. So this is just a bit brief idea for what is NumPy. Let's get started with pandas as well. So what is the difference between pandas and NumPy? You will get to understand. Pandas is something which deals with a more better data, or more structured data, or making the data more beautiful, cleansing the data. So that's why pandas are used along with NumPy. Okay, so it's not that pandas and NumPy are interchangeably, or panda is better than NumPy. No, they both work together to give you better data analysis tools. So let's do something for data frame. So first of all, we will do import pandas as pd, similar to numpy as np. We will require numpy as well for this, to create an array. So we'll go for numpy as np over here. uh, Guys, if you want this whole code, this whole session, I will send you the PDF for this session so that you have all the functions with you. So we are using different functions. Over here we used concatenate, I, then we used random dot normal, we used a range, we used full, we used zero, we used ones. So all this I'll give you in a PDF format. I'll mail you. So yeah, I will do that. Now let's get back to what is data frames. So with this code right now, we are going to implement data frames. Data frames. What are data frames? So it's better if I show you through programming than telling you. So let's take a variable data, which is a array. Okay. Don't lose me on this point right now. It is going to be a quite complex, not in understanding but in writing. So stay with me. So we will take an array with multiple elements. So the first element would be blank, comma, column 1, comma, column 2. Let me just correct this one. Column 2. Let's take another list. Over here we will add row 1 comma 10 comma 20, and then we will take another list over here. We will add row 2 comma let's take 30 comma 40. Now over here what I have done is I have taken a big array. In that array I have three elements. One is this, one is this, and one is this. Now all these three together are going to constitute a 3 by 3 matrix for you. Now how that can be done is using pandas. So let's print and enter pd dot data frame. Over here data frame is a function. Now data frame function requires three arguments. One is data, the other one is index, and the third one is column. Now let's put that. So we will take randomly. So we want data from this data, we want data from this variable. So we will do data is equal to data, and we will take from 1 comma 1 and all the other elements from the 1 comma 1 elements. Then we will put index. So index is the index number, that is 0 1 2 3, which you know in matrix. So basic knowledge of matrices is also required for data science. Don't worry, it is not complex, it is going to be easy because we don't have to calculate anything explicitly. We just need to know the basics of mathematics. Let's put 0 comma 1 and all. So we have taken all the elements. Let's check. So we have taken 1 comma 1 and all. We have taken 1 comma 0 for all and 0 comma 1 for all. Yeah, sure. So let's hit enter. Let's see some beautiful things. Yeah, so this is how you have got a beautiful and nice data over here. So this is the difference what it was with pandas and numpy. So what panda did over here is it structured the data that we got from numpy easily and more beautifully. So visualization become easy. What if we just print the data which is in the numpy format? So let's take that. So this ugly thing is converted into this beautiful rows and columns by panda using data frame function. So that is how we integrate both the libraries. Now let's check something more. We'll get into some interesting functions over here. Now we are heading towards exactly what data scientists do. So suppose let's create a new data of countries. So put data in pd dot data frame. Now previously what we did was we took data from numpy and then we access that data from numpy into pandas and then turned it beautiful. Now what we will do is we will directly give the data inside the panda data frame. So what we will do over here is we will create a dictionary. I hope you all know dictionary in Python because this is a basic knowledge of Python is required for this. So if we start creating the dictionary, we will create two keys. One is the country and the other one is rank. So for country we will give some nice countries. So we will put Russia, it should be in quotes. Then we will put India. We will have Colombia. We will have Chile. And lastly we will have Nigeria. Now with that we will have a second key that would be the rank over here, and now we will put some random numbers over here 121 comma 200 comma 100 comma 130 I guess, and then 11. So we have got a dictionary. So what we did is we wrote a dictionary inside a data frame, pandas data frame. This dictionary consists of some random data. Can you go through one's roles and responsibilities of data science job? Sure, we will put that at the end of the session. Thank you so much. Now we have three things to cover at the end of the session. One is mathematics and probability course. The other one is the companies, and the third one is the responsibilities of data science job. Sure, we will do that. Now we have created this data. What we will do is, let's print it. How good it is. So hit enter, and then let's see how the data is there. So this beautiful data has been created by pandas. Yeah. So this beauty or this visualization can be done using pandas. So that is why pandas is an important element. Now the beauty doesn't end over here. Another beauty which exists is something in this. So you will be astonished to see this. Uh, if you are a good programmer, then I don't think so you would be, but it is something new. So if you put data.describe, so this is our data, and if you want the description of this data, so what is exactly meant by the description, you will get to know. So over here is some beautiful analysis that has already been done for you. This is what data analysts try to do in their first step. So they try to describe the data in this format. So count is the total number of entries that are there in the data. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The mean is the ranking mean. So what is the mean of these ranks? The standard deviation, the minimum value, 25% of the data, 50% of the data, 75% of the data, and maximum number. So that is how interesting data science could get. But it doesn't end over here. What if you have some kind of data and its information is unknown to you? What about that? So for that, another function comes into rescue, and that is data.info. So how the data was created, what entries were there, for what elements were there, everything is shown into data.info. It might not sound interesting right now, or it might be as well. For those of you whom it is not sounding anything interesting, mind you, this is a short data that we are using. What if we start using a large chunk of data with somewhere around, say, lakhs of entries? For that purpose, it becomes very, very important to have this. So that is how we have started basics. So I will save this PDF for you guys. So this is the basic one. So to save it, it's very easy. I click the save button, and if we want to save it as a PDF, we can go here, and you can see there are multiple options over here for which you can save. So for now, I want to share this with you. I'll put it as PDF, download as PDF, and it will start downloading for me. Once it is downloaded, I'll show you how beautiful this reflection can get and why it is called notebook. So now, yes, we are downloaded. This is the beauty. That is why it is called as notebook. You can see all my inputs or my codes are given, and along with that, in the red, the outputs are given as well. So this is how the reports are also generated by the data scientist. So Renuka asked me what is the role of data science or the responsibilities of data science. So a data scientist need to work with data that has been given to him, and then with that data he has to represent it visually so that their CEOs or CXOs or the key decision maker persons or the management role persons can take that data and take decisions based on that data or to do the analysis. So data scientist does his work like this. He cleans the data, then he performs some operation like normalization or some identity matrix multiplication, and then he presents it in some beautiful format. So this is for the reference or the documentation that they create. So that is why notebooks are such an important thing. Now let's get something more interesting. Let's create a new notebook. What we will do now is we will perform some operations of arrays and matrices. So what are the operations of arrays and matrices? That is multiplication, dot operation, max operation. So all those things which we did previously in our notebooks, in our classroom programs, we will do it using Jupyter Notebook and the magic of data science. So let's first do vectorization. So for those of you who are not familiar with this one, can go to Google and search what is vectorization, or you can wait right now and then once the course ends, you can search for basic mathematics things that I have told right now, which you should note it down. So let's go. Let's import numpy as np, and then let's make some data. So we will create a matrix. So how to create a matrix, we have already taken it, np.array. So first row, I want it to be 2 comma 4 comma 6 comma 8 comma 3 comma 2 comma 5. Finding out numbers to take is a difficult job, I think. Then we will create a second row, maybe 7 comma 5 comma 3 comma 1 comma 6 comma 8 comma 0 maybe, and then we will take one more row, so it becomes a very good data set. We will hit enter and we will create another one, 1 comma 3 comma 2 comma 1 comma 0 comma 0 comma 8. Yeah, I think this should suffice. We have created a matrix with 7, I think 3 comma 7 size. We have got one more thing. Vamsi has said that, sir, like many software engineers in a company, there will be so many data scientists in a company, or just a few data scientists are required for each company. Okay, so that depends on the projects that the company has. So suppose if a company has somewhere around 10 to 20 projects, and for each project 2 data scientists are required, so for 10 projects they will hire 20 data scientists. So it's a simple calculation like that. So it depends on the projects. Some companies are product oriented as well, so there's a concept of data product. Okay, so what happens in data product, Google is a data product company, by the way. What happens is Google, whatever you search in the Google gets stored into Google's database, and they use that searching to power their AdSense engine, YouTube engine, and that is how they earn the revenue. So if you were seeing something on Google, like you searched for a toy, now you will start getting ads of those toys from Amazon, Flipkart, everywhere. So that is how Google works. It's a data product. If you go to Amazon, so I'll show you just a little bit of distraction. If we go to amazon.in, and then if we go for some purchase, let's say, let's take the M30. If we take M30, this is something which you get frequently bought together. So this is a very good example of data science. Over here, data science is being applied. Frequently bought together is something which other users' data has been accessed for you. So if someone has already bought a Galaxy M30, he might have also got a tempered glass, and he has also got a phone case cover for him. So it is a good example of data science product. They have got a frequently bought together. Now someone else would have got a red case, or someone else would have got a purple case, or someone else would have not got a case, anything like that. So how it is showing you that this, it is on the mean and standard deviation, that majority of the people are taking this one with this, or their algorithm would be like your favorite color would be blue because you were buying blue shirts. So that is how they are recommending this to you. What about if there is no project for a few months? What will be our role as a data scientist then? Okay, if there are no projects in the company, suppose it is like that, then as a data scientist you will be given some internal company data cleansing work. That is how I have observed right now. So what the companies do is they don't give you a table. So there's a difference in companies. When you go for a software development job and you are out of projects, you get the desk job. The desk job is like you will be stagnant until a new project comes, or until a new requirement is there. So you won't be working on anything. You will be simply going to the office and not doing any work, and you will be paid for that. But that is a very bad thing, because your skills will not be improved and you won't be working on any life project. So in data science this kind of things does not happen. The company itself has so much of data for its own decision making purposes. It gives you its own internal projects. So they might say that, okay, we are not getting any clients right now, we are not getting any projects right now, it means that we are doing something wrong. So they will give you their own personal previous data, and they will tell you that, okay, find out the reason why we are not getting the clients. So that is how it works. Is there any internship to learn and work with data science before we go to the job as we are studying now? Yes, there are many internships. Again, at the end of the webinar, I am going to show you that. So please stay tuned. Coming back to our code, there was a diversion. Let's close this. Yeah, coming back, we have created a 7 by 3 matrix. Now what we will do is we will find out the max and min of the data. So let's do print np dot max. So suppose we want to find the max. What we will do is we'll go to print np dot max, and then we want to find max out of the data set, and we want the first axis. So we will go for axis 1, and then we want to minus the minimum from it. So minimum and data set comma first axis. So let's hit enter and see something. So we have got 6,8,8. So what has happened is they have taken the maximum and the minimum and subtracted it. So if you see from the first axis, we have got a maximum of 8 and the minimum of 2. So 8 minus 2, 6. For the next axis, they have done the same thing. So we have got a maximum of 8 and minimum of 0. So again 8, and again over here maximum of 8 and minimum of 0. So that is how simplified we have made operations. So maximum operation we have done, and minimum operation again we have done. Let's go to something else. So this is vectorization, by the way, guys. Vectorization involves maximum and minimum. Paritosh, sir, I had got in touch with a few market experts after 12th, and they advised to choose BSc statistics over BTech as they find statistical knowledge lacking in aspiring data scientists. So I was thinking, he's writing, I think. Okay, Paritosh, we'll wait for your question. Till then, we'll come again to our code. Performing simple arithmetic operations on the matrices would be a great help for us. So again, let's make another 1D array now. Let's take some floating values now. We haven't taken floating values yet. Let's go for 22.0. Any random number that comes to my mind is this. One more we will take. We'll take 35. Okay. Then what we will do is we will do a multiplication of these elements by 0.1. So if you can see over here, the multiplication over here involves dot, right? So it is 0.01, and then we will print a. So you can see it has got multiplied by 0.01 and your output has been changed. So Paritosh, I was thinking of pursuing masters in data science from abroad. Would you recommend it? Definitely I would recommend that. BSc statistics would be a great thing if you do. As you said that statistics knowledge is lagging. It is very true that the statistical knowledge is lagging in the upcoming data scientists. What they do is they learn programming, they learn the basic mathematics, and they get into a job. Because I told you in the first slide itself that companies are not able to find good working data scientists, so they have to compromise somewhere. But if you have statistical knowledge along with programming knowledge, so it would be a great thing. My recommendation to you personally would be, it's fine you pursue BSc statistics. With that, you should take programming courses online. If not online, as I said, I don't prefer online. You should at least get into some training institute around you for Python, for R. So along with your BSc statistics, you should be focusing on these courses as well. Once you are thorough with your BSc, I think BSc is for 3 years. So once you are thorough with your BSc and you have a good programming knowledge, you can go abroad and pursue your MS in data science. So yes, universities outside India provide data science as your degree. So you can do that. How to get to US in MS data science? because it's a very competitive field. You will have to make very nice projects during your BSc Stats years. Your final BSc Statistics project should be based on data science. You should be writing your blogs. You should be increasing your social media presence, so for your application to get accepted at at US or some other abroad universities for data science. So that is would be my recommendation. I hope I have solved your question. Now again, coming back to our program, we will do matrix multiplication. So this was a 1D multiplication. Now we will head towards dot product. I think that would be great. Dot product is a very nice thing. So again, we have imported it, so no worries. We will take A. Again, we will modify this A, and we will create a matrix out of it. Np dot array, and then 2 comma 4 comma 6 comma 8, and then we will head towards B and do np dot array, and then we would create a matrix of, I think, 4 by 4. Yeah, let's create a 4 by 4 matrix. 1 2 3 comma 4. That's the best thing I can find out right now. And then we can go for maybe 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. Yeah, and then we can go for something else as well. We will go for 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6, and then we will go for 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7. Fine, and then we will store the dot product into a variable C. So dot product is very simple. We have a dot function directly, and we want to perform the dot operation between A and B, and then we would like to print C. Shift enter. Here's your dot product. Simple. So it's very simple. You have a lot of functions available. The operations become very easy. As you can see, we have done it. Let's do a last operation, and then we will get into how to access Excel files, CSV file, or database files using Numpy and Pandas. So that would be a very interesting subject where we will see databases in terms of text file, Excel sheet, CSV, and XML. XML are your web datas, and we will see how to extract data from there. Okay, so it is going to turn very interesting. We will just finish off with one more matrix multiplication. If you want, we can go for some different type of since dot operation requires your sizes to match, like over here what we did was our matrix was 1 by 4 and we multiplied it with 4 by 4. So here you know the output would be 1 by 4 matrix. So similarly, what we will do is we will create a new matrix. Okay, again we will take A. This is to show you some mathematical background of arrays. This last example is for that, because I hope that you are well versed with matrices. So let's take again 6 comma 8 even numbers, and then we will take another row. So we will make a 2 by 4 matrix, and then we will go for another matrix, maybe of different size but matching, and be able to multiply it. So we will take so we have created a 4 by 2 matrix. Now we will take a 2 by 4 matrix. Yeah, so 1 comma 2. I think I forgot to give that. Yeah, so this thing is required because your complete matrix is into a one list. So 2 comma 3, and then again we will go for more elements. So 3 comma 4. Oh, I forgot that comma, and then we will go for 4 comma 5. Okay, and then now we will do a dot product with this. Again, cp is equal to np dot comma dot dot. So it's funny, a comma b, and then we'll print C. Let's hit enter. Oh, we have got an error. Data type understood. So it's a type error where you can see I forgot to finish this. So I did not close the list over there. Yeah, now I think we are good to go. So over here you can see the multiplication has happened for both the matrices. Now if you are good with matrix, you can just take your notebook and try to do this, or you have a calculator, you can do that. It's the same thing basically. Your matrices knowledge is required for this one. Now I'll save this file again for you. We will rename it. We will rename it to uh, matrix operations, and we will download it as a PDF for you guys. It's getting downloaded. Now after this we are going to do some interesting things. Yeah, it is downloaded. Now what I have done is I have got, well, this is my webinar files. So I have got some data for you. So I'll show you what the data is over here, and then we will try to access it using Jupyter notebooks. So I have created a by the way, I have not created it. I have taken the data sets online. So these are the data sets that I have taken online. We have a text file with color, value. So each color has a value. It is in a text file. Okay. Then we have a XLS file, that is your Excel sheet. In that Excel sheet, there are multiple values in it. And just a second, we are going to check that. Yeah, so we have some random data. So let's check how many elements are there. So maybe let's escape that. We have somewhere around 73 lines of data and 4 columns. Sheet 2 is empty, sheet 3 is empty, fine. Sheet 1, so angle, sine, cos and tangent. So this data describes some angles given in some column, and then their sine, cos and tan. We have one more titanic.csv file. So we have whether the person, oh, so it's a Titanic data, whether the person in the ship died or is alive. So that is the data for that. What is his age? I don't know how this age is there, but it is there. So we have a good amount of data. Oh my god, we have a very nice, I guess, what's the number over here? So we have somewhere around 1300 lines of data. So 1300 data sets is there, and one more we have in an XML format. So let's just check that as well. So we have some XML data over here. Let's close that. Okay. Now again, coming back to our Jupyter notebook, we will create a new notebook. Now in this notebook, we will start with exploring the data. Let's start with the colors text file. Okay, that would be pretty easy to understand. So what we will do is we will take the data into our variable in Python and we will print it, as simple as that, or we will directly print it. So we have with open, we will name our file, and for just a note that your data set and your Python file, the ipynb file, this file should be in the same folder. Okay, so right now if you can check, I'm creating all my files in the webinar files and my data set is also over here. So this is very important that your files are in the same folder. So now let's go and let's do this colors.txt and then comma. If you are not familiar with the open function, in the open function we require to give the file name and the access mode. So access mode is read binary, so your access mode could be write, read, or append. So there are multiple access modes in Python which you can study. So right now we are taking the read binary since we just want to read the file. So we will open it as open file. Okay, and then what we will do is we will print some nice beautiful text in it, and we will write colors.txt contents are, and we will give a new line, and then we will add the data in the open file. Okay, now over here open file is a variable in which we are storing the content of colors.txt, and then open file.read is where we are printing the data. Now let's hit enter and check. Very nice. So this is the text that we have written over here. We did the new line, and whatever values were there in our text file, they have come over here. Beautiful. Now, what can be more interesting is reading code line by line, or reading the data line by line. So, what happens line by line is we will first read color values, then go to the next line, we will read red 1, then we will go to the next line, orange 2, like that. What we did over here was we took the data as a whole, but what if we want to do some operation and we want just this line or this line? So I'll show that how we can do, I'll show you how we can do that. So again we will do with open, then colors dot text file, and we want to open it as RB and as open file. Once we are done with that, we will go for we will take a loop because we want to read line by line. So our variable is for observation in open file print reading data plus observation. So now what is happening over here is that we are reading the data line by line. We have taken a for loop for the observation. So observation is a variable again. So this is an iteration variable. So iteration variables, as you know, are counted by the iterations that are present. So the iterations over here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 plus 1, that is 9. So the loop will run for 9 times, and every time it will read and print like that it will do. So let's check it. So if you see, reading data and then this, reading data and then this, and like that. So this is how we access data one by one. Now again, moving ahead, what we will do is we will find samples. So what if we want only a few data out of the whole set? So let's see, what we will do is we will take only some of the data available out of the file. We don't want to access all the colors, but we want to access some of the colors. So what we will do is, if our data is divisible by 3, then only we'll print it. So suppose 0 is divisible by 3, so it will be printed. So then if we go to 1, it is not divisible by 3, so we won't print that. Reading data orange, it would be second, so it will be on line second. We will it is not divisible by 3, we won't print it. Now coming to the line 3, mind you, this is from 0, 1, 2 and 3. So yellow is divisible by 3, so we'll print that. We'll design a code for that. So suppose I'm storing an integer 3 which needs to be divisible, then we will go for with open. So I think it's better if I copy that for fast operation. We do this, and then for j comma observation. So we are storing the iteration variable in 2 variables now, and we will enumerate the file. Again, enumerate is a function, enum enumerate, enumerate, and open file. Now, if the line is divisible by 3, so this is the condition, if the line is divisible by 3, then print, so let's print reading line. We want to print the string formatted J plus, we want to give the content and our content is stored as observation, and then we will hit enter. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so whatever the data was divisible, the line number was divisible by 3, it is printing that. So these kind of complex operations, it's quite simple, but I'm giving you an example. These kind of operations can be done using Numpy. Now let's go and do something better. Let's go for CSV files. Now we have done the text. Now we will open the CSV file. But since our Titanic file had so huge data with so many columns, what we will do is we will use it in a delimited format. So what is delimited format is that we will only extract the age column out of it. So we don't want the name or whether the person survived or not. We will just take the age. So to do that, we will need the help of pandas now, and then we will store our data in a variable called Titanic. And then to open the data, now over here we have pd.io. so over here pd is the pandas, io is the input output, and then we have parsers, and then the function read underscore csv. With that, we will give our file name that is there in our folder. So it is titanic.csv. Be aware that it is case sensitive, so whatever the name is there for the file, it should be same over here. And then we will store only the age. So we will store the age into a variable x. We can do that by simple operation like this one. And then we will print x. It is as simple as that. If you can see over here, we have got all the data just for the age. So this is a delimited format. So I'll write a comment for you so that you remember it, what it is called. So it is reading CSV file in delimited format. I hope it is clear. If you have any concerns, any questions, please put it down so that I can read. Once we are done with CSV files, now I think we can head towards accessing Excels and other Microsoft files. So to do that, we will require pandas again, and then we will store the Excel file data that is there. We have our values.xls file. We will use that. We will create a variable xls, and we have a simple function over here, pd.xl file, and we will put the file name values.xls, and then what values we want or what sheet we want. So we saw that sheet 1 only had the values and other sheets were empty. So we will give a trigger value to it and we will store it. like this, XLS. So XLS is this variable dot parsers, or only parser, and then we want sheet 1, out of which we want index column none, and then we will head for non-applicable values, that are, if it is empty then don't show it. If any column is empty, then it will appear as an NA. Once we are done with that, we can easily print the trig value. So it's quite simple, no worries. We have got an error and it is values, not just value. Yes. So over here you can see all the data from the Excel file has been extracted and printed. I hope you guys are understanding, and I'm not rushing too much, because this kind of data or this kind of operations are done as a data scientist. So I think Renuka had asked us what is the responsibility and job roles for data scientists. So I hope, Renuka, now you are to understand it better. Still, I'll try to address it if you drop down into the comment section, that in the chat section, if it is not solved. A data scientist needs to work with the data. So suppose he wants to find the angle of, he wants to find the average angle, so he can access that data and do it. Again, this is about the stored data that we have. What if we want to extract data from the web? We want some data from the internet. So we will take some example file. I have already taken one link from the web where there's a dog face, and we will try to show that. For that, uh, we will need a new library which I showed you at the start of the video, that is skimage.io. So this is a library and we want to import read out of it, just the read function, and then from the same we want skimage dot transform function, and we want to import resize out of it, since we would like to resize the image to fit into our screen. Then we can take matplot library and import pyplot from it. I hope my spellings are right. Yes, splt, and then we would import matplot library.cm as cm. Now, I introduced you with two different libraries in this code. These two libraries are specifically for image. So one is to access the image, resize it, and the matplot is for showing the image, that is the plotting of the image. Okay, now let's go and take the file from the web. So I have the link written with me. So it is from Wikipedia, http, and then colon, it is upload.wikimedia.org slash this plus, so we are concatenating it now, wikipedia dot commons /7/7d /dog face.png. So this image is there on the web. I have taken that image through the link. Nothing new in this one. Now we will store this image into a variable called image, and we will use the function imread from here. So let's go into imread. The source is example file, and we want to import the image as gray. So we don't want to take the colored image, and we will specify it as true. Now plot function comes to our rescue to show the image. So imShow is a function where you show the image, and then you have got your image, and now cmap is there, cm.gray. These are all functions, and I'm going to give you this PDF, so don't worry if you don't understand. You have plenty of time to understand it once the seminar ends. And if you have any questions or queries, please do post it in the chat section. Now let's just show this image. I don't think it needs to show or throw any error, because yeah, function matplot show. I forgot to give the function, so this thing was required. As you can see, we have got a beautiful image of a dog seeing at us. So that is how we extract images or any other file from the web, and then if it's an image, we show it with plot.show. So with this code, I wanted to explain two things. One is how to access data from the web. So it is as simple as that. You can instead take some Excel file or some CSV file if it is on the web with that link, and then if it's an image, you can show it like this. If it's an Excel file or something like that, then you have our previous code like this. The data goes there, and then you can use parse to extract the data out of it. I hope everything is clear till now. So we'll move towards our question and doubt sessions. It's 11:30. I finished on exactly the time that I had planned. I'll save this for you. I hope that I have solved your basic concerns of how to get into the data science as a field. I'll save this for you. Extracting files. So this is how data science is done. Now coming towards the question. So first somebody asked me was regarding the jobs or the companies that offer you data scientist role. So in India, we have Mu Sigma. Okay, so Mu Sigma is an organization which offers data scientist or decision scientist as its field, and they hire freshers directly as well. So just now, a few days back, they completed their online aptitude tests. So this is their website. If you want, you can link it. uh, so if you go to careers over here somewhere, or maybe below, yeah, careers. So this is one company which offers freshers the job. What you can do to get into it is you can write here to the HR that I'm a fresher and I'm looking for the job and I have the relevant skills, and they'll definitely get back to you if they have the requirement. The second company that I know would be ZS Associates. So ZS is a huge company. They have multiple verticals. Data science is one of their verticals as well. So ZS is a multinational company. So if you go here and again to careers, I'm showing only the Indian careers. If you go here and select apply now, it will take some time to load. Yeah, so over here you can actually check what all jobs are available.
You can apply them, or you can contact them directly and by sending an email and your resume. So ZS is another company. uh, if you want to go for more companies, what we can do is we can search for data science firms in India. Another great company in India, in located situated in Mumbai, is Quantify Analytics Private Limited. It is a great startup to work in. They have over 250 employees already. Their office is a beautiful office, and they are one of the fastest growing companies, and they are hiring freshers. But you need to be very competitive to get into Quantify. The company has very complex and very beautiful hiring process. So you can contact them directly. You can email them. They will be able to help you out if they have any job opportunities. The best way to look for jobs is LinkedIn. You should be keeping your profile active. You should be following great companies like Quantify, the ones I showed you right now, and you will be able to get into them once they post their jobs. So they have openings for freshers as well. So Quantify is there. Now, if you see and Google it, I have given you a list of 3 to 4 companies right now, so they are fine. Now we will get back to another question, that is, what are the roles of a data scientist? So we saw right now the role of a data scientist is to basically ask questions. First of all, ask questions, because when they ask questions, then only they will be able to analyze the data. When they have the problem statement that I want this thing out of the data, then only they will be able to process that or write the algorithm for it. So one of the responsibility is they should be very curious about the data that they have. That is one thing. The next thing would be a data scientist role would be being creative in a way that whenever you represent your data, it should tell some story. So we wrote this notebook, so this notebook should tell some story, like our data first when we took it was just blank pieces of rows and columns, but at the end when we want to show it, we should use bar chart, or we should use some pie charts, we should use some graphs where the data becomes more engaging. So that is the second responsibility of a data scientist, data analyst, these kind of jobs. One more thing I feel that is important in a data scientist is that he should have an entrepreneurial spirit. He should be a business minded person. He should be someone who wants to do a business himself. Why? Because when you are trying to do business on your own, you think of multiple verticals of your business. That is the same way in other company. When you are working in it, you think about all the verticals in the company and then access the data. So over there you are at an advantage, that that I have these verticals in my organization, and for these verticals I have to work and find out the solution for. So yeah, that is another role for a data scientist. So Paritosh has asked, are there any good summer internship opportunities you know of to gain relevant experience? Yes, Paritosh. So if you are planning to go abroad to study, as you had said above, so I would recommend that you do the internship with some academic institutes like IITs or IIS Bangalore. So, to do that, what you will have to do is visit IISc Bangalore's. I'll take an example of IISc Bangalore. See, this is the first thing that is coming up. So, IISc Bangalore Data Science, you can go and you can check for the professors or the faculties who are working in this department. Okay, so just a second. When we visit this website, so cds.iisc.ac.in, similarly IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, IIT Kharagpur, all the IITs also will have this. And don't worry, you will feel that, oh, IIT is not a cup of my tea, IIT is not a cup of my tea, or it is not a pie that we can get into it. Don't worry, it is not like that. You will be paid to do the internship, and they want people, the professors want students with them to work on projects. So what they do is they read their emails regularly. So what you will need to do is you will have to go to the faculty list, check the faculty who is working over there and your field is matching. So suppose you want to work in visual analytics, go with Anibran Chakraborty. He will be able to help you, or he might be having the projects that are required. Or if your interest is in database engines, so you can go to Jayant sir. He might help you, and they all have their email IDs listed over here because they want students to reply them or students to write them with their project ideas and their internship interest. Once you give them a written mail with all your experience and all your aspirations, they would definitely get back to you. And there, as I said, there is a chance that many other students are also doing this along with you. So to be better off, I would prefer that you write a mail to somewhere around 20 to 30 different professors from different institutes to ask them for an internship. This will help you for your MS degrees, because the masters at universities outside of India, they want students engaged with some kind of research activities, because masters over US or over UK is a research based project degree. So they want you to be working on some research projects, and when you have an experience of research based project, you will be better off. I hope I have solved your question, Paritosh. Similarly, you can go to IIT Bombay's website. Even if you want to work with organization, not an institute, not on research projects, so the best option that I could suggest is, since the organizations in India don't float internships that much, the best way could be to writing emails to the organization, to their careers email ID, or to find out some person in that company who is your person whom you can contact, or you can get his or her email address and write the email to them. So that is how you can do. Writing an email is the life skill over here for everyone. People don't write email, that's why they have problems. Anything else? Any other questions? Let's get back to our presentation and the surprise that we have all been waiting for. So I hope let's move towards concluding. If no anybody has any other question, they can put it down. I'll be happy to solve them. Let's move ahead. So this is an offer for you guys. This was an introductory course right now. I'm also offering a certification in basic applied data science online course for you. So you can enroll for a basic applied data science certification course sitting at home. You can enroll for my live classroom. The course 1 is going to be on 18th August. The course 2 is going to be on 25th August. Third one is on 1st September, and the fourth one is on 8th September. All the courses will last for 4 hours and they will be online, so you will be able to sit in your home and access the course. And it won't be like this one, like right now we are doing on YouTube. It won't be like this. We will be doing it live, so you will be able to talk to me as well. You will be able to ask your questions directly. So we will be in touch with a webinar or a conference meeting situation, and you will be able to ask your questions directly, and it will be a hands-on session where you will be sharing your desktop screen with me and I will be solving your problems while you are doing the code. And for the fees, it is just 100 rupees per course. I don't think so it is that much. So you can take that course. So if you want to register for that course, what you will have to do is you'll have to go to paypal.me/honorpro, and there you can pay the fees, take a screenshot of the successful payment, go to the Google Forms given in the description, and it will be emailed to you as well. Okay, so if it is not available in the description, don't worry, you are going to get the email for the Google Form as well. Upload the receipt over there and fill in your details, and we will see you on next Sunday, 18th August. We will be there. Also, due to unavailability of the bandwidth, only first 50 students will be accepted. Other than them, I think we will head towards some other course. And the surprise that we have been waiting for is there. But again, one more promotion. I'm taking classroom sessions as well in Pune. So if anybody of you are from Pune, Maharashtra, you can enroll for a certification course in applied data science and analytics. So it's a 7-month long course. You can do it with me in Pune. It is in Vishrantwadi. You can do that. And the last thing, the surprise that we were waiting for,
is a certification. All of you can get a participation certificate from me. For that, all you have to do is email your full name and the feedback for the course to info@hunarpro.com, and after receiving your email, I will be replying you back with your participation certificate for this webinar. So it is the first time that any webinar is giving out participation certificates. So if you want the certificates as well, you can send that. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Hope to see you in the 4 course series where I teach you the data science online. And please stay in touch. You can email me anytime. My email ID is karan.patil@hunarpro.com. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I'll wait for 5 minutes more and check the chat section. If you have any questions, I'll be very happy to address them. Otherwise, after 5 minutes, we will end this stream. So Paritosh, thank you so much, sir. You have solved my query. Your insights are invaluable. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paritosh. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I hope that you get the internship of your dreams. If you have any problem or any queries, you can write me a mail. I would help you. I would be very happy to help you. Anybody else? If you have any questions, concerns, we will wait till 11:48.